Did you know you can have a brand new 2026 World War II Jeep? And that's not clickbait. This is the real thing, because my buddy David, dude.
Hey, what's up?
David over at the Utopian has created one of the coolest Jeeps out here at the Easter Jeep Safari. David, what have you done?
Well, like you said, this is a 2026 World War II Jeep. And you can do it because in the Philippines, they still make these bodies. The Philippines has a rich history of Jeeps. The whole Jeepney thing where they turned the World War II Jeeps into public transportation, they have a factory that builds new bodies and new frames. And then in France, they build new engines. Like it's a new Jeep.
Wow, that's crazy. So let's talk about where this idea came from. So you're partnered with eBay on this, right? And the goal was to see if you could build a new Jeep basically off new parts from eBay.
That's right. Yep.
So last time I visited you, and I'll include some of that footage now.
It was a nightmare.
This is not good. When you have only a few months before the Easter Jeep Safari and your vehicle looks like you can see the cross members from above, it's not good. This is a brand new engine block. That is a brand new crankshaft. I have a brand new camshaft. This will be a brand new engine. Here's a couple of the parts shelves.
Yeah.
This is a full tub with grill. It's got fenders. It's got a hood. And then here is the transmission. Look at this.
Dude.
Ain't that pretty?
It's beautiful.
One of the front axles is in good shape, aside from a ridiculous leak back there. But the actual diff is in good shape.
Yep.
One of the rear axles is mostly okay, aside from the pinion bearing.
Okay.
So we have something to work with here.
It was literally me in my backyard trying to build a whole car from scratch.
Yeah.
And I, like to spend some time with my child at the same. He's gonna have some trauma from the last 6 months. I spent no time with him. This was my baby for the last 6 months. And yeah, I bought almost everything from eBay. I mean, these leaf springs, the tires, the headlights, the hood blocks, the windshield wipers, this seal. I mean, you point at it, and I got it from eBay.
Well, let's start at the front here. Let's pop the hood and talk about the engine. So one of the things I couldn't believe is that you can still buy new engines. So what's the story with this?
It's pretty nuts. In France, some company made this engine brand new. The cylinder head, brand new. The engine block, brand new. Exhaust manifold, brand new. Intake manifold, brand new. It's ridiculous.
And when you say like brand new, did it come from France fully assembled, or did you have to put it together?
No, it's just a block.
Whoa.
It's just a block and a head, and I had to put it all. I had to buy the bearings. I had to put it all together, which was part of the fun. But it made the drive here from Los Angeles frightening. These are very simple vehicles, but there are still 1,000 parts on this old vehicle, and there's plenty of room for failure. So I was worried. Even though it's simple, there's plenty of room. Like any little mistake in like bearing clearance, you could ruin the engine.
Now, tell me about your drive out here, because I noticed you got a little bit of some clever engineering going on there.
Yeah. So this was vapor lock. There's a famous Simpsons episode where they talk about vapor lock. But what it is, basically, your intake is getting so hot. If you look at the design on this, the exhaust is right next to the intake.
Yeah.
So this all gets really hot. And when liquid gas gets hot, it turns to a vapor, and you can't pump a vapor, at least not with what's here. So it's trying to pump something in gaseous form, and it can't.
So I'm going to point at stuff, and I want you to tell me if you can still get it new. Radiators?
Yep.
Let's do carburetor.
This is actually brand new from eBay. I did almost nothing to it. I
Really?
just popped it on there and prayed.
Whoa,
Yeah.
super cool. What about like starter?
Yes, new.
Wow, come on, man. What about like wiring? I noticed that you kind of wired it yourself.
Yeah, okay. So I have a full wiring kit that I also bought from eBay. It's beautiful. See these spark plug wires? They're really nice, right?
Yeah.
The whole wiring kit is this beautiful like braided wiring that I did not have time to install.
Oh, does it look like this?
Yes, that's what it looks like.
Very
yeah.
cool. So what
Very
about
cool.
like the body? So like these headlights, are these new?
Brand new.
Wow, come on, man. Fenders?
Yep, that's all part of the body. It came with the body. The fenders, the hood, the windshield.
So one thing I've always wondered though, especially when you're dealing with something like you said, 1,000 parts, did it all bolt together, or was it a lot of like I got to drill out some stuff? And...
Well, okay. So first off, you asked what's new and what's not.
Yeah.
The axles are not new. And if you look underneath, you'll see, well, okay, there's a lot of new stuff, and then there's some rusty axles down there. That's why this thing isn't painted. I wanted to highlight, make it very obvious, what is new and what isn't. And it's those axles, they're not new. These tie rods, they're not new. The tie rod ends are, of course. The transmission case is not new. The transfer case, not new. So there's certain things you cannot buy new.
Okay.
You can still buy them used on eBay, for the record. Okay, your other question.
Yeah.
How do you get all of these parts to fit together? It is not simply bolting stuff together. It doesn't. You have a look at this fender right here. See that? That looks like a little percussion happened there, right? That was my right arm and a ball peen hammer.
That's a technical tap.
Yes, but that's normal. If you have so many different parts,
Yeah.
all trying to come together, you just kind of have to make it work. You have to do a little sanding, a little reaming, a little grinding, but you can do it. And if you close the hood and you hide that little hammering mark, and you step back, man, maybe give her 6 feet, that looks like a World War II Jeep. A brand new one, no less.
Yeah, very cool. So let's talk about the interior, David. Your steering wheel's beautiful.
Oh,
That's
yes.
also brand new, right?
From eBay, yep.
And then seats?
See, look at the seat cover, brand new. I even reupholstered it myself.
Dude, crazy. What about gauges?
New, oh, I didn't fully install those yet, but I'm missing my lights here, but yeah, brand new.
Wow. So on this half of the Jeep, other than the engine, what was the hardest part?
Oh, back here?
Yeah.
I mean, the back is very simple, like leaf springs, very simple. The axles, my biggest concern was, I looked inside the diff and I was like, there were a couple things in there that had me worried.
Yeah.
But I just squirted some thick oil in it and it's totally fine.
So my big question is, David, if someone's looking at this, right, they're like, man, I could go out and I could buy all the parts. I could even use eBay to buy all the parts. Should I go from scratch like you did?
Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it. Don't even think about it. This is a great showcase, right? I can point to something and say, look at these tires, got them from eBay. The inner tubes, yeah, from eBay. Wheels from eBay. That's the point. This pintle hitch, got it from eBay. These bumperettes, yep, that's the point here. But if you're gonna build a vehicle, you should get one that's already complete.
Yeah.
Even if it's a basket case, and then you go buy all the parts that need to be replaced. You need a starting point. For this, I had to figure out what are the 1,000 parts that go into a World War II Jeep.
Right.
And I had to read books and I had to figure that out. It's just that's not the best and it's not the most economical way of doing it. You should buy a complete vehicle and then buy a bunch of parts for it.
So even if you buy like a rusty bucket, rust repair and all that will still be easier?
No, absolutely not. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you buy a rusty one, you can buy a new body for it.
Okay.
But you don't want to buy every single part from scratch. It will drive you nuts. I'm going to have to see a therapist after this.
Let me talk about how much it costs.
Yeah, my last question, David. Do you know how much something like this would cost?
We will reveal that on our website.
Okay, so you got to go over to the Autopian. David will have that article over
Why don't
there.
you tell them how much you paid?
I don't need to talk about that either.
Talk about how much. Hold on.
I got it.
Okay.
$18,000 for my $5,000 Jeep. It's not going super well, but I'm also not David frickin' Tracy, so he could do my project for a lot less.
So to buy, just let me run it for a second. So I'm behind the camera here, but to buy a Jeep from 1947, let's say,
Yeah.
in running and driving condition, you could spend anywhere from $5,000 to let's say $20,000. And you spent how much for yours?
5.
You spent 5.
Yeah.
But then you had to buy 2 others.
Yes, but it's a project, and I don't know what I'm doing. Look at David. He's got the overalls. This guy's a pro, so he could do it a lot more affordably.
You can imagine buying every single part individually
Yeah.
is not the most economical way of building a vehicle from scratch.
But it is crazy you can do it.
It is. The fact that you can do it is the point.
Yeah.
And you can. I mean, look at it.
Well, last thing before we let David get out of here, let's go take it down the road a little, David, and
All right.
prove that it works.
All right. You want to drive?
No, you drive it.
Dude, I don't think you'd fit. Look at this. I barely
Go
fit.
show this. Dude, 1,000 miles like that?
Well, I got a dad bod here. I'm going to move all this stuff for you. Look at I literally sanded a groove into my gut on the way here.
All right, David, let's see how this thing runs. So, pretty normal starting procedure?
Yeah, choke out a little bit. I don't know how cold it is. This is the handbrake.
Dude,
it works.
You got an MB with a working handbrake?
Yeah, it's an early style. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, let's see if this thing fires up. I never get the choke. There we go. It's all about trying to get that choke exactly right, you know?
Is this a 6 volt or 12?
6 volt.
6 volts?
I'm trying to keep this hilariously as factory original as possible, even though the factory is in the Philippines.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But anyway, let's, what are we doing? Maybe a couple donuts?
We're just gonna go right down this road.
All right, let's do it.
So on your drive out to Moab here, you'll have the full story, I'm sure, at the Autopian.
Oh boy.
Great ride quality, David.
Yes.
Rides just like the original.
It really does.
What kind of speed were you doing?
Ooh, we're gonna fold this windshield down when you get on the trails. I haven't quite dialed in these latches. The speeds we were hitting up to, honestly, mostly it was around like 40, 41. I'd say the average around 40 miles an hour or so, with peaks of about 55.
Dude, this thing runs good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I built
Holy
the motor by
crap.
hand in my backyard. You know, when people think of an engine being built, they think of some kind of clean lab. It was just a dirty backyard. All right.
This is going really well. Say that again. So when you think of like engine building, what do you normally think of?
I don't know. I think the average person thinks of some kind of nice lab with nice lab coats, not a dirty backyard and a dude covered in grease. But listen to this motor.
It's healthy, man.
Oh, it's healthy.
It runs good. And like that company in France, do they do everything?
Woohoo! They do so much. A lot of the powertrain stuff, the heads, the manifolds, they don't. The transmission, as far as I know, you can only buy the internals for, not the case. But no, it's amazing how much of this you can buy new. It really is.
So David, now that you're one of the first, probably the first to do something like this,
In North America.
do you think there's going to be other folks that follow in your footsteps?
Like I said, if you're building it from scratch, is it the most economical or the easiest job? No, but it is the ultimate Lego kit. If you love Legos, if you have a child you want to do a little father-child project on, this is the greatest Lego kit you could ever buy, ever.
Yeah, I love it. Well, guys, if you want to follow this whole adventure, check out the Autopian. I'll link it below. David, thanks for showing this to me,
Thank
man.
you.
This is awesome.